say hello to the South, or the Moonshine Boys as I like to call them, okay? Giving a nod to Southern upbringings and inspired obviously by the South, where men were self-made and bathtubs were not just for bathing, okay? So they have products called Bluegrass, Moonshine, and Speakeasy, and we'll talk about those here in a second, all right? So created by 3 Southern boys based out of Austin, Texas, Greensboro, North Carolina, and Nashville, Tennessee. Colin Newberry, who is the lawyer. And then we have Charlie Holderness, who I call the model. I call him the model. And then we have Matt Moore, who has actually worked on The Art of Manliness and other things. He is actually an author, a chef. He's written some amazing stuff, and I think he's a pilot too. So you got to check these guys out. They're pretty awesome. So it's important to note we're going to talk about a little bit about the soaps first. They do make colognes, and I call these soaps the diluted versions of the cologne. So all their products are basically, in my personal opinion, the diluted versions of their colognes. So they're colognes extended. So these are both shea butter soaps. They are non-GMO, cold pressed with 100% cotton reusable bags, which by the way, double as soap holders. And I'm actually going to pull both of these out so you can see them. So here, you want to pull this out for me? So they are, like I said, shea butter soaps. But now you can actually see the difference in them. I know, yeah, I have the little tag in there. So we have our sea salt studded shea butter soap, and we have our jojoba meal studded shea butter soap, okay? Moonshine's a little bit more edgier, a little bit more rugged, a little bit more old-fashioned. Bluegrass is a little bit more new age, a little fresher, but they both smell so masculine, you will literally lose your mind. And the scent stays with you. Like I said, it's a soap that doubles as a cologne. So you can actually leave that up. You can give that to me. You don't have to worry about putting that back in, okay? So we have the Moonshine, we have the Bluegrass, okay? We also have the candles, okay? Now I do not have the Bluegrass one featured here, but if you saw it, it's a stainless steel, where this is copper. This is a copper hammered tumbler, and the other one is actually a stainless steel. So smell this. It smells amazing. It's insanely good. This is a perfume quality soy blend, and these are reusable. So whether it's the stainless steel, which is a little bit thicker, yeah, here you go, or the copper, it's really, really fun. They are reusable, so you can actually end up drinking out of them and cleaning them up and reusing them for all kinds of stuff. So you can use them for cocktails, but I actually like to use them for my desk, because if you've ever been here, my entire desk is filled with cigar boxes and copper tumblers. It's pretty fun. But the proper way to actually burn a candle, which I learn new things all the time, is the way to get your burn time that's listed on the candle, whether it says 60-hour burn time or 40-hour, is to actually only burn your candle in 3-hour increments. Okay, so burn in 3-hour increments, and you get your actual burn time, which I believe, not really sure if it says on here. I believe it's a 60-hour burn time. But that's how you get your proper burn time, is 3-hour pop increments, okay? Obviously, do not leave a candle unattended, and always trim your wick so that it doesn't dip and fold over into the wax. So always trim it before you use it so that it's a little bit lower and it doesn't have that burnt, like, bundle, as I like to call it, right on there, okay? And then we have, oh, by the way, that actually comes with complimentary matches, which is really fun. It says repeal her prohibitions. It's very boozy and prohibition inspired. It's important to know that. And what's really cool about their company is, and the Moonshine actually, is a lot of people think that there's actually moonshine in it. There's actually no moonshine in it, but it does have a gin note to it. So, and that actually might just be their cologne, but a lot of these scents actually are inspired by their grandfathers, the smells of their grandfathers, okay? And I'll tell you more about that shortly. Speakeasy is part of the Ladies If You Fuck Up gift featurettes that they make. It is so cool. It comes in a wooden box, all right? And you have, here, you can hold the puff. I'll let you hold the puff. The puff, old-fashioned, right? And you have the transit cap, which helps to prevent leakage. So it's a really beautiful bottle. Your lady will lose her mind over it, and it's inspired by the sophisticated modern woman, okay? Yeah, exactly. Classy, keeping it classy. It's really, really cool. Now lay out the puff. Now the cool thing about the puff actually is that little, you see that little spigot there? It's really small. So when you use this puff, the dispersal rate actually goes out very far. And I think it's actually better than the majority of perfumes and colognes on the market because they actually can leak, right? And leaking does happen, so just be aware of that. But they spray like crazy. And this actually disperses a lesser amount, which means that it lasts longer. So you're gonna get more bang for your buck from this product. Important to note though about colognes and perfumes. Obviously with guys, we're mostly talking about colognes, okay? But you can actually educate your lady here. It's important to note that when you spray a cologne on your body during the day is to actually spray it on your clothes and not on your skin, because that actually can attract the sun and cause pigmentation and damage to your skin. So always spray it on your clothing and not on your skin to protect yourself, okay? Very important. Now I'm gonna read you a little something, because I always like to get this correctly. So, okay. So we have our moonshine, just so it paints you a picture because you're not here to smell it. Let's see, we have black pepper, tobacco, leather, gin, and patchouli, okay? Bluegrass is fresh cut field grass, Spanish moss, deep woodsy amber with a hint of peppery spice. And your speakeasy here is actually your pink peppercorn, white moss, sapphire gin, and patchouli, and nutmeg. Okay, and the great thing is this is all inspired by American bootleggers who ran their stills under the light of the moon, which is designed for men comfortable in their own skin. I like to call it very old-fashioned. It means a little bit more fresher and new, okay? The moonshine is a little bit more intense, and the bluegrass is more subtle, but everybody loves this stuff. It's really, really, really cool. And the only other thing you need to know is that the Speakeasy perfume is water, alcohol, and fragrance. These are all high-quality perfume fragrances, so you're always gonna get better quality with me. Yeah, and then the bluegrass is inspired by the Blue Ridge Mountains of the Appalachian, which is really, really fun. So men who embrace a laid-back lifestyle and simple pleasures. So it's an intense product company bringing back heritage and history, which is really fun, and I really enjoy that. So I always like to make sure I read that correctly. But abuse it, use it, and we might have the bluegrass candle in the future. I just wanted to talk about that.